So what are the new major Canvas updates? So there's been a couple since over the break. The biggest one is the new rich content editor, or the new RCE. So it's changed a little bit. It looks a little different and some of the tools work a bit differently, but I'm going to demonstrate how you can work with those tools. There's also a new record/upload media feature within the new rich content editor. So I'm going to show you all how to use that. I'm very excited about this tool. Student view has changed a bit. I will show you where that has changed and how you can still access what your students would be able to see. And Turnitin/SimCheck. Turnitin is the new plagiarism checker for assignments. VeriSite was bought out by Turnitin. So I'm going to show you how you can set up Turnitin to check your students' work. All right, so what is the new rich content editor? The new rich content editor is an editing and formatting tool within Canvas that allows users to add or modify text, images, files, links, and more. So some of you might be used to it looking a lot like this. This is what it looked like before the update with the two bars for the different formatting tools. Now it looks like this. So it has two bars, just like the original RCE. This right here is called the menu bar. It goes over most of the formatting features such as edit, view, insert, format, tools, and table. You can also find many of these options right here in the toolbar. So font, paragraph, bold, different inserts such as links or files, external tools or apps. Some of you might also have this vertical three-dot bar. This is called the options bar. And all this means is that your screen is a little too small for all the different tool features within the new RCE. So when you click on this, you see just a few more tools that didn't fit. If you don't have these three vertical dots, it means that these tools are elsewhere within the bar and that your screen is wide enough for the full tools bar to be extended. So for the purpose of this webinar, I'm going to be highlighting some of the major functions and tools, such as linking, images, files, media, apps. So the first thing I'd like to do is go over links. You can find links by this link icon here. You have the option for external links or course links, and you can also find the same tool up here in the menu bar. So what I'm first going to show you is an external link. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I would like my students to learn about the rhetorical situation. I have an external link. I'd love them to my students to look at Purdue OWL. So I'm going to link here. And this is what I would like the link to be called. When anything that you're putting into the rich content editor flashes yellow, it means that it succeeded. So you can see here the different link options. So I hit done, and then I go down and hit save. So students will now be able to access this link, which according to this icon right here, means it will link to an external site. So students will click that, and they'll be brought to this webpage. So I would also like to show you all how to do a course link. So one of the great things about Canvas is that you can link different parts of your course to different pages. So I have a lot of information on this particular page that I want students to review. And then at the end, I want them to continue to the demonstration lecture. So it's a different page, but I want them to know where I want them to proceed with their learning. So I'm going to highlight the feature, and I'm going to click course links. This options bar shows up on the right, and it's like, okay, where do I want to go? So I know I want them to link to a new page. You can link to assignments, discussions, a different module, wherever you wish within your course. So here's my page. And it highlighted yellow. I'm going to hit save. And then when students click, they're going to be brought to the new page. And that is how you do course pages. Well, the next tool I would like to show you all is the embedded image. And that is highlighted right here in the tools bar and right here in the menu bar. So the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to show you all how to upload an image. So I'm going to put my cursor, and that is another important best practice. Put your cursor where you want any kind of link or external tool to go. So I want the picture to go right there. When you upload, you can either upload from your computer, you can upload to Unsplash. It used to be Flickr, but it is now Unsplash, or her website. So you're going to click where the rocket ship is. And then I'm going to go down here into my photos. I love the UNC bear. And then you can also have the option to add alt text, which means this will just be easier for a screen reader to process. So I would like to call this the UNC bear logo. We're going to hit submit. And now we have a new image. So another trick is this will show up image options. And sometimes this pictures, they look small when you grab them, but then when you put them in the page, they're huge. Or they might be too small. So you can actually go in and resize by hitting image options. Format it how I would like. And then I hit save. So that is images. And that shows on the page like this. Now I'm going to show you how to do file uploads. So again, we're going to highlight, and the documents or files is right here in the tools bar and right here in the menu bar. So I want to upload a document that I would like my students to look at. And you can upload from a computer from here. Upload a file. And I want my students to look at this wonderful guide. Hit submit. It flashed yellow, which means it worked. When students click the link, they can either be brought to a separate page, which is now in your course files, and they will see the content, or this preview icon will appear. Students can click that, and the file will appear on the page. So many of you have a lot of content within your course files that you would like to use. So we're going to highlight course documents, select which document it linked, and we hit save. Now, if you would like students to see the document and you'd like to set up the inline preview, click the link, hit link options. And you can automatically open an inline preview, or if you decide you don't, you can disable. For the purpose of this, I'm going to hit to enable, hit save, and now this document will appear on the page for students to fully view without having to worry about them clicking somewhere else. If you realize, oh, I need to remove that link, here's an easy trick. You're going to click on the link, and then instead of going over to documents, you head over to link, and you can either edit or remove. That way you don't have to delete text in the link, and then hit save. So those are some of the major tools. What I'd now like to move into is showing you all how the record upload media tool works. And that's indicated by this icon with the video feature in the music note. And you can also find it here in insert. So for the, unfortunately for this webinar, I am unable to show you the full finished product of what the record media option looks like, as my camera, my webcam, is already working for this Zoom webinar. But I do have an example of what the finished product will look like. So I will go through these steps, and then when you follow these steps, you too will be able to have a video file. So I guess what I should be explaining is what the new record upload media tool allows you to do is to record short videos or audio right into your rich content editor, right into your page. So to demonstrate, I'm going to select this option, record media. And if you already have something that you'd like to upload from your computer files, you can do that here, or you hit record. This box will appear. You can, if you have different microphones, you can select which microphone. If you have multiple webcams, you can select here. But for the purpose of this example, all you do is hit start record. Hello, and welcome to the Canvas Updates webinar. This is your overview for the week. All right, so because my camera won't be able to work due to the Zoom webinar, it saved an audio file, which works just as well. We do ask for best practice if you aren't using your video, but you would still like to use this tool. Let your students know that it is an audio recording or a podcast, as they then might be looking for a video file, and it'll show here once it loads. But if you are using your webcam and everything's looking great, this will be what will appear. So it has a full video, play. So it does take a few minutes to process. So as you can see here, it does look like a video file is missing, which is why we recommend providing some context for your students. So everything looks good. I'm going to hit save. Another best practice that we recommend with this tool is that it is not used for any video or audio that's longer than 5 minutes. As you all saw, that 6-second video took a few minutes to process. Not only that, but students use different browsers. It depends on their internet access. And with this tool, we want them to be able to access it as much as possible. So that's why we recommend that if you're using the record upload media tool, that you have it for videos that are 5 minutes or less, such as introductions or brief overviews. So now let's say that I am working really, really hard at making all these changes so that students are able to see everything. And as we know, something happens and I need to X out and I haven't hit save. And then I realize I didn't save anything. Frantically go back to the page. And I'm going to hit edit. This box will appear. This is the new autosave feature with the new rich content editor. So within a day of any unsaved data, unsaved work will be stored in your computer's clipboard. If you would like to go back and you're like, you know what, this is still the most important thing ever, you can select yes. If you realize, you know what, that isn't as important, you can select no. If you select yes, the rich content editor will put that unsaved data back into the page. And you hit save. So those are the major new rich content editor features. I'd now like to move into part 1 of Student View. So if any of you have noticed, Student View, there's this little icon up here on the top right corner with the eyeglasses. That is the new Student View. This update was done so that instructors could go to a page where students have access and be able to see what students see. And that is what the student view is for. So if I click student view as an instructor, I want to make sure students are going to be able to listen to a recording. Hello, and welcome. They're going to be able to click a link that I set up for them. Can they see a guide that I set up? They can see an image, they can see a video. Are they still able to go to a page in a different part of the course? Yes. We really recommend this tool, especially if instructors are worried if students don't have access to any content, because you can always check by going into student view. So that is part one. So now I'm in the demonstration lecture. The next tool I'd like to show you all is the apps feature, which is indicated by this plugin here. It can also be found in the menu bar under tools. So we have pinned the third-party video tool Panopto, as it's a very frequently used asynchronous video tool that instructors like to use. But if you're looking for an app that you would like to use, you could go here to view all, and it gives you a list of options. Internet Archives, Macmillan for textbooks, Office if you're doing a collaboration, Wikipedia, YouTube, it's there. Now, what the feature will also do is that any apps that you visited recently or frequently will show up here, so you don't have to scroll all the way through the different options. So let's say I want to put a Panopto video in. I'm going to click the Panopto tool, and I can choose upload or record. And get out of there, you're going to hit OK. And once you're done putting in a Panopto video, this is what it will look like on the page once it's finished processing. So now I would like to move into the next tool, which is Turnitin. So students have, in this demonstration, they've gone through the rhetorical situation, they've looked at my pages, they listened to my lecture, they listened to the overview, and now I want them to write up a brief essay. So I'm going to set this up like I would any other assignment in Canvas. I'm going to provide a title, instructions, points, which assignment group, if I have different groups that I want this assignment to go into, how I want the points displayed. And now we get to the plagiarism review. So in order for the plagiarism review to work, text entry or file uploads need to be selected for it to work and to compare your students' work. There's also how many attempts, and now we are at the plagiarism review. So one of the great things about this tool is that it's the only option for the plagiarism checker. So we select Turnitin. And now you can choose the similarity report that you would like it to generate. Would you like the bibliography to be checked? And would you like quotes to be checked? Many bibliographies tend to be the same. So if bibliographies are not excluded, a report might have a higher percentage. Then submission indexing. Would you like to index all the submissions? So one of the great things from the transfer from Blackboard 4 years ago to Canvas is there is a database of index submissions all the way back from 4 years ago where VeriCite would check student work and compare it. Turnitin acquired that database. So now any submissions that are indexed will go into that database so you can check previous work. The next option is to generate a similarity report. Would you like to do it immediately and on the due date or immediately? Turnitin recommends immediately and on the due date because say on the day that an assignment is the first day that you open an assignment up for being due, a student submits a paper. It looks great, you check the similarity report, and the student did a great job with the original work. Now let's say it's the last day that an assignment is due. You look at the similarity report and you realize that that previous student, the first student, the score has gone up a bit, and another student has a similar score. They recommend on the due date because then you can check if any students in the course are sharing documents or sharing essays. Or you can just do one and immediately. You can also select when you want your students to receive the report. Would you like them to see it right after they hand in an assignment, after you've graded the assignment, after the due date, or never show them the similarity report? That's up to you as the instructor. And that is Turnitin. So now I'm going to bring you to the final step of the webinar, the final piece I'd like to share with you all today, and that is the second part of student view. So it used to be that there was a student view option on this right bar on your homepage. Now student view is up here in the top right corner with the eyeglasses. What you can do from this spot is you can go throughout the entire course for student view. You can make sure students are able to access anything that has been enabled or published for student view. You can also find the full course student view where it originally was, which is in settings. And it's right here. So the same thing that we just did on the home page, you can select student view, and then you and the instructor will be immediately brought to the home page because students do not have access to course settings.